Good day everyone, my name is Bernadette Bangi and today me and my teammate Nurul Shafira will present about cardiovascular endurance. What is cardiovascular fitness? Cardiovascular fitness is the capacity of the cardiovascular system, which is heart, lung and vessel, to efficiently supply oxygen blood to the muscle, as well as the muscle to use the oxygen delivered by the blood supply as a source of the energy for movement. There are 3 test methods to do the cardiovascular fitness test, which is bleep test, 2.4 kilometer test, and 3 minute step test. This one is the bleep test. What is the bleep test? The bleep test is the fitness test developed to measure an individual level of cardiovascular fitness and to measure the maximum oxygen uptake, which is VO2 max, while performing physical activity. The test involves traveling back and forth between 20-meter distance marker just in time for the increasingly fast-paced beep sound. There are 21 levels, with each floor having a number of shuttles. The last beat sound that can be adjusted is the score, which is in this test. After you will run back and forth to measure individual level of cardiovascular fitness. Each person have their limits while doing this bleep test. So through this bleep test, we eventually will know what limit we can do. What level limit we can do through this bleep test. This is the equipment for the bleep test, which is flat track, or any kind of flat floor so that you can easily run. Non-slip surface, 20 meters measuring tape, bleep test audio, and marking cones. If you don't have a marking cones, you can use any kind of object to be used for your marking cones. Audio player and recording sheets. This is the pre-test procedure. The first procedure is perform screening of health risk and obtain informed consent. The second procedure is prepare form and record basic information participants such as age, body weight, and gender. The third procedure is measure and mark the course, place marking cone on each ends. The fourth procedure is ensure that the participants are adequately warmed up to avoid injury. And the last pre-test procedure is explain a demonstration the test procedure to the subject. This is a bleep test protocol. First protocol is the subject stand behind one of the line facing the second line. And second protocol is begin running when instructed by the bleep test audio. And then the participant continue running between the 2 lines. After reaching the second line, wait for the signal beep to run again to the other ends. After 1 minute, each level up will increase. Each level up the speed. If the participant do not reach the line before the beep sounds for the first time, participant will get a warning. And then if the participant does not reach the line for the second time before the beep, the participant will eliminated from the test. The last point the participant adjusted by the last successful beep sound was their score. And the last protocol is the participant who complete the test. The participant who complete the test will need to perform a cooling down. This is the first video to show how the bleep test should be run.
Bleep test. Do some warm-up before start. This is the equipment that I use. Use 20 meters tape to measure. Before start, stand behind the marker.
After you've done your bleed test, this is the normative data for the bleed test. Each data has each level. Each participant will have their level limit during the bleed test. As you can see from this table, if you have a great cardiovascular endurance, male with excellent data, which is they will reach level 12, shutter 12. That is a very good cardiovascular endurance for the male at the age of 17 until 20. Same goes as other age for male, and the poor grade is lower than level 7 to level 7 shutter 3, which is a very poor cardiovascular endurance. Same goes as female. For the excellent cardiovascular endurance, female at the age 17 to 20 is level 10 shutter 11, and if the female have a poor cardiovascular endurance, it will below than level 4 shutter 9. This is a do's and don't in the bleed test. What you must do during a bleed test is start level 1 with a slow proper run. The second one is eat proper food before the test. The third one, warm up before the test start. The next one is hydrate before test. And lastly, eat 1 to 3 hours before the test. What we should not do during the bleed test is, the first one is speed on the first level. The second one is eating before test. The third one, running with empty stomach. The next one is did not warm up. And the last one, did not hydrate before test. This is the advantages and disadvantages in bleed test. Advantages in the bleed test is minimal cost required to perform the test. The second advantages is this bleed test can be performed in a large group at once. The next advantages is this test is very effective test to measure aerobic endurance. The next one is the advantages. The advantages in a bleed test is practice level can influence the score attained. The second one is motivation level can affect the score. And the last one is environmental condition can affect the result. The next one is a 2.4 kilometer run test. The 2.4 kilometer run test is a simple running test of aerobic fitness. It is requiring only a stopwatch and running track. The purpose for the test is to measure aerobic fitness. The equipment you need in this test is only 2.4 km flat and hard running course and the stopwatch. This is the protocol for the 2 km run test. The first protocol is the aim of the test is to complete the 2.4 km course in the shorter possible time. The second one is all participants line up behind the starting line. The third protocol, on the command go, the clock is started and they begin running at their own pace. The last protocol, cool down work, should be performed at the completion of the test. I will show the video how I perform the 2 km run test.
2.4 kilometers run test. Before start, do some warm-up. Use any apps that can be used to set time and how many km have left. Start the run on the command go. Run until reach 2.4 kilometers. And this is my record. And now it's your turn.
After the 2 km run test, as you can see from the table that show in the slide, there are 4 categories, which is excellent, good, average, and poor. As you can see, for the male, excellent normative data for the male is more than 10.20 minutes for the 19 years old, and for the 20 to 24 years old is more than 10.20 minutes. And for the poor normative data for the male in the 24 km run is for age 19 years old is 11.41 to 12.30 minutes, and for the age of 20 to 24 years old, the poor normative data is 11.41 to 12.20 minutes. And for the female, the excellent normative data of 2.4 km run test is more than 14.20 minutes for the 90 years old, and for the 20 to 24 years old is more than 50.15 minutes for the excellent normative data for the female. The poor normative data for the female is 15.31 to 16 to 20 minutes, and it's for the 90 years old. And 20 to 24 years old, the poor data normative is 16.01 to 16.13 minutes. This is do's and don'ts in the 2.4 kilometer run test. What you should do in 2.4 kilometer runs is start out slow. The second, what you should do is do some light stretching before start. And the last one is run after 2 hours after meals. What you should not do during the 2.4 kilometer run test is eat huge meal before runs and skip warm up. This is the advantages and disadvantages in 2.4 kilometer runs. The advantages in 2.4 kilometer run is there is a minimal equipment required, simple to set up the conduct, more than one subject can conduct the test at the same time. The subject can administer the test by their own. The disadvantages for the 2.4 kilometer run is specific facility require, which is the 400 meter track. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Alright, the last type of cardiovascular fitness is the 3 type of step test. Step test is designed to measure participant aerobic fitness. Participant step up and down, on and off aerobic type step for 3 minutes to increase heart rate to elevate the heart recovery rate. For the purpose, 3-minute step test is to measure your aerobic fitness level based on how quickly your heart rate return to normal after exercise. To measure your aerobic fitness using a simple test requiring minimal equipment and space, step tests provide a sub-maximal measure to cardiorespiratory or endurance fitness, and then it estimates the body ability to deliver oxygen to determine cardiovascular fitness level. This is equipment for 3-minute step test. First is a metronome, a stopwatch or clock that counts seconds, 12-inch high aerobic. Alright, this is a protocol of 3-minute step test. First, begin by demonstrating the alternating stepping cadence to the subject. Next step is in time with a step 1 foot up on the bench, and third is step up with the second foot. Fourth step is a step down with a 1 foot, and the 5th step is a step down with the other foot, and the 6th step is a set at 96 beats per minute or 4 click 1 step cycle for a stepping rate of 24 steps per minute. Second step is a step up and down on the platform at the given rate for a total of 3 minutes, and then immediately stop on completion of the test and sit down and remain still. And the last step is count the first for 1 minute.
The next thing.
Right, next let's start with the video.
With this metronome beat, it's going to be like this: up, up, down, down, up, down, down. You with me? And then we're going to do it for.
Alright, this is the normative of the 3-minute step test for male and female. The next slide is do and don'ts in 3-minute step test. First, do raise our heart rate before step, perform cooling down after test, and do some stretching before test. And don't in 3-minute step test is no stepping too fast, no hydrate before test, no warm up before test. The next slide is advantage and disadvantage 3-minute step test. For advantage, a low cost for equipment. Some tests can be also be self-administered. The fact that stepping is a natural activity, permanent calibration is of portability. For the disadvantage is a body weight has also been shown to be a factor. Difficult to maintain the pace. There is a danger of the subject tripping. Testing large group with this test will be time consuming. Alright, for the conclusion is cardiovascular fitness is defined as how well the heart, lung and respiratory function perform during moderate to high intensity physical activity. and getting a regular physical activity can improve cardiovascular fitness. These three types of fitness tests are important to monitor the individual health.